Yo, what's going on, guys? My name's Chuck, and welcome back to the Skull Zone. Today, we are going to be doing my official 2026 NFL Honors prediction, and at the end, I will be doing my Super Bowl prediction, so it makes sense. If you guys do enjoy this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and again, these are predictions, not what I think. These are just what I believe is going to happen. And I will have an honorable mention listed for each one. Anyway, let's get straight into this video. Now, we're going to start with Offensive Rookie of the Year today. And then we'll go Defensive Rookie, we'll go Coach, we'll go Comeback, we'll go Protector, the new award. Then we'll go OPOY, then we'll go DPOY, and then MVP, and then my Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP. Deal? Good. Okay. Starting off with Offensive Rookie of the Year, my honorable mention was Emeka Egbuka. If you look at what happened, like at the start of the year, he was playing lights out. He was like 100 yards a game or something like that. Like he was playing really good, but just at the end, he sort of just, I don't know, the entire Bucks team just slowed down. You know, Baker Mayfield stopped playing as well. I don't know what was wrong with that. I really don't know what happened there. I guess it was coaching. Baker Mayfield was hurt a little bit, I guess, maybe. I really don't know what happened with the Bucks offense. But yeah, they just overall imploded, just slowed down. Finished 8-9. They started off 5-2 because Egbuka was playing lights out. But then Baker just stopped playing as well. The receivers couldn't catch as well. You know, there's injuries everywhere with Mike Evans. And Chris Godwin was hurt like 24/7 this year. McMillan. That's my offensive player of the year. But you know, Tez Johnson played well as a rookie, kind of. Like he didn't play amazing, but he was okay. You know, Bucky Irving finally came back and he looked okay. But you know, we'll see if this team can turn it back around next year, because that was a really bad implosion. Because again, they were 5-2, they finished 8-9. They should have been 12-5 or something like that. They should have finished around 10 to 12 wins, but you know, they imploded. And so yeah, that's why I got Tedero McMillan as Offensive Rookie of the Year. I just think he played consistent the entire time, unlike Egbuka. And anyone saying Tyler Shough is just, it's not very common for a rookie quarterback who played less than 10 games to immediately win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Otherwise, Brock Purdy would have probably won it last in 2022 or whatever. Now, Defensive Rookie of the Year, my honorable mention is Carson Schwarzenegger. I know a lot of people are picking Carson Schwarzenegger. It makes sense because he's leading the league in tackles for rookies, and like he was really good. I'm not taking away from that. I just think impact-wise, if you don't just count stats, but impact-wise overall, it's got to be Nicky Memori. He's been really good this year. He only allowed 10 yards and 2 catches. I know obviously it won't count towards the predictions, or not predictions, but the votes. But he allowed 10 yards against the Rams whenever they threw towards him. Like, he was making plays left and right. I saw him do 2 back-to-back, deflections. Like, he was really good this year. And I know just playoffs specifically. He did get hurt a little bit, so he slowed down towards the end of the season. But, he was really good. He was easily the best safety in this class, outside of maybe Xavier Watts. But, I just... You could put Jalen Walker or James Pierce Jr. or Xavier Watts. All 3 of those Falcons rookies played really well this year. I just think Nicky Memori surpassed all of them. Okay, next we got Coach of the Year. My honorable mention is Mike Vrabel. No, I think obviously that he didn't play. He coached really well. The Patriots were 4-13 last year, and now they're in the Super Bowl in year 2, or his first year. Obviously, a lot of that is Drake May, but I think, they don't really have. I don't think the Patriots have much talent on defense or talent on offense. Outside of Stephon Diggs and Kayshon Boutt's okay, I guess, but I think Mike Vrabel is a big reason that team is as good as it is. I know obviously Josh McDaniels is a good offensive coordinator this year. I just think Mike McDonald was a better overall coach this year. You know, he led one of the best defenses in the entire league. I would say top 3 easily, probably 3 behind Houston and Denver. But I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Vrabel wins it. All these honorable mentions, I wouldn't be surprised if the honorable mentions win it. I'm just picking the other person. So, but yeah, I just think Mike Macdonald deserves it more. If you actually look at Mina Kimes, I think her name is, she talked about why she voted for Mike Macdonald, and it makes sense. Now we go to comeback player of the year. Now my honorable mention is Dak Prescott. He was pretty good, actually. A lot of people look at the record and think, oh, they sucked. But, like, he was the reason they're in a lot of those 9 losses, and the reason why the Packers why they tied that game versus the Packers. Like, he was good. Obviously, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, George Pickens was the reason, CeeDee Lamb was the reason. Who's throwing the ball? You're forgetting who's throwing the ball. Dak Prescott led in second in receiving at 4,500 yards and 30 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, I believe. You know, the 10 interceptions, you know, sucked, but, like, Dak's just coming off that crazy injury. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins it, but obviously Christian McCaffrey is winning it. If you look just how crazy he was this year. He played 4 games last year and did not look good in those 4 games, coming off that injury from the preseason last year. And then this year he totaled 17 touchdowns and a total of 2,200 scrimmage yards. Like, that is, and I think he had 400 total touches. Like, that is a lot for someone who's coming off a big season-ending injury and another season-ending injury, or half season-ending injury, and then the finish of the season-ending injury, whatever. But, you know, he's been the reason that the 49ers went 12-5. You know, I wouldn't say anything good about their defense. Their defense was not good outside of maybe like Upton Stout, who is solid. There was just not anyone on that defense that made me look, okay, that's a great player. You know, obviously Fred Warner for the first 4 weeks and Nick Bosa for the first 2 weeks, but everyone there was hurt. So obviously their defense wasn't the reason. Brock Purdy was okay, but he was hurt. Mac Jones was okay, but he was hurt. Or he wasn't hurt, but, you know, Purdy came back and played for him. Obviously Christian McCaffrey was the reason they won that many games and the reason why they made it to the divisional round. Now, obviously George Kittle, but, like, he played only like 10 games this year. So next we got the new award, the Protector of the Year. I'm gonna put Trent Williams. My honorable mention is Quinn Meinerz, whatever. There's a reason why he won first team All-Pro. Sorry. There's a reason why he won first team All-Pro back-to-back, by the way. He's been one of the best interior offensive linemen. But Trent Williams had a great year when he came. You know, he started slow, but he came back strong and looked like one of the best offensive linemen to play the entire year. Oh my gosh, bro, I cannot speak. But plus, he's like 38 years old, and they're probably going to give it to an aging guy because, you know, Quinn Meinerz can probably win it next year. But Trent Williams, on the other hand, he's like 38. He's probably not playing next year. He probably is. He's probably going to play till it's like 45 or whatever. Offensive Player of the Year, my honorable mention is Puka Nacua. You know, obviously 1,700 yards, 9 touchdowns. That's really good. But there's another guy who was better than him, Jackson Smith-Njigba. He had almost 1,800 yards and 10 touchdowns. And if you saw that game against the Rams, he outperformed Puka. No, actually, I would say Puka did outperform JSN, but JSN made these craziest catches. You know, that one-handed catch against the Rams. JSN's just incredible. Gosh dang. The fact that we could have drafted him, but we decided to go Jordan Addison instead, which I don't hate Jordan Addison. I love Jordan Addison. But the fact that we could have drafted JSN, of course, you know, draft the worst. Not the worst. I would say Quentin Johnston's the worst of that first round class. because obviously it was Zay Flowers, and I think, was Rashee Rice in the first? Maybe. Or maybe a second. I don't know. And obviously Puka Nacua is in the same draft class, 2023, but he was like a 4th round pick, or either 4th or 5th round pick, which is crazy that both of them were underrated. And now they're the top 2 best receivers this year alone. Now, I would say Puka Nacua is better because Puka Nacua was better last year as well. You know, he did both last year. I mean, JSN had 1,000 yards last year. But first year, he was a really top-tier receiver. So, next, we got Defensive Player of the Year. My honorable mention is Will Anderson Jr. Obviously, if Myles Garrett didn't exist this year, Will Anderson Jr. would easily win it, but you got to give it to the one that broke the sack record at 23 sacks. Like, that's crazy. I'm not going to lie. He was the reason the Browns won 5 games, I would say. I mean, their entire defense is actually pretty good. Jim Schwartz is a good defensive coordinator. I don't know if the Browns are going to put him at head coach, or they're just going to keep him at DC. Is he going to go somewhere else? I don't know. But if I was the Browns, I would keep Jim Schwartz at least at defensive coordinator, because he's a good defensive coordinator. Now, finally, before the Super Bowl, we got the MVP. Now, to me, it's kind of obvious. You know, my honorable mention is Drake May, which means Matthew Stafford is my MVP. It's between these two. I think Dak has a chance to make it. I think he was a finalist, I believe. He has a chance to make it to me, but I obviously Matthew Stafford was incredible this year. 4,700 passing yards, 48 touchdowns to only 9 interceptions. Like, Drake May was good. He had 31 passing touchdowns, 4,200 passing yards, if I'm correct. 31 passing touchdowns, and I think he had like 8 rushing touchdowns or so, something like that. I just think Matthew Stafford, I think they're going to give it to the older guy, because Matthew Stafford can't really win MVP in like a couple years, but Drake May has 20 years almost. He could have 20 years for all we know. So, you know, he'll probably win them. He'll win one soon. Probably next year, too. Now, finally, we got my Super Bowl results. Will the Patriots win the Super Bowl and reestablish that dynasty? Bring it back to its former glory with Drake May. And the Patriots surpass the Steelers in Super Bowl counts? Or will the Seattle Seahawks win it, get revenge for the goal line stand Super Bowl in 2014, and Sam Darnold will be the first quarterback in that loaded 2018 class, like with Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson, to win a Super Bowl? That would be insane. Now, my pick is Seattle. I just think Seattle's defense is too good for the Patriots this year. Hey, props to the Patriots. You know, they played lights out in the playoffs. You know, obviously, Drake May didn't play great in the playoffs. He had 80. He didn't even have 90 passing yards last week against the Denver Broncos, which, you know, makes sense. It's the Denver Broncos. He did play 3 back-to-back top 5 defenses. I believe I saw RG3's post on X. He said that the Chargers had the 5th ranked defense, the Texans had the 2nd ranked defense, and the Broncos had the 1st ranked defense, and now he's about to play in the Super Bowl against the 3rd ranked defense. Kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who has the 4th ranked defense, but so, you know, it would be cool if Drake May wins. It would be cool if Mike Vrabel gets his ring, you know, shoves it up the butt of the Titans fans, shoves it, whatever. But I just think Seattle's defense and, you know, Sam Darnold and Kenneth Walker, my bad. And then obviously, you know, JSN and Cooper Kupp, and, you know, they'll win. All of them will win a ring. I got my prediction officially as Seattle at 34 and Patriots at 21. No, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be like 20 plus points. But I do have it being I would say it's a close game in the first half, but the second half, the Seahawks take it. I got Super Bowl MVP as JSN. My honorable mention is Sam Darnold. I just think JSN will be, just looking at their receiving core. I just don't think Seahawks have like the best receiving core outside of JSN. So I think if JSN is the one getting all the catches, Sam Darnold will, obviously he'll be throwing it to him because JSN is just always open. You can't guard him. But if he does spread out the ball more, I could see Sam Darnold winning Super Bowl MVP. I mean, if you look at Sam Darnold's performance last week, it was more than just JSN. Like Cooper Kupp performed well. Kenneth Walker, stop saying him. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Please leave a like, subscribe, and we will see next week if I'm right about the NFL honors, and then the week after Super Bowl. I think after the award show, I will be posting my next mock draft. I planned for my mock draft to be posted last week, but I just deleted the video and I just didn't feel comfortable about it. Now I will post it next week for my pre-Super Bowl prediction. And yeah, I'll see you guys all later. Peace.